What is up, all my geeks and gamers? TechGeek1019 here, coming at you with the long-awaited Dimension tutorial. Today will be the first part of a most likely multi-part tutorial on how to create a dimension. Now, before I get into this, I just want you guys to know that dimensions take a lot of work. There's a lot of components that you need to do in order to create your custom dimension. So if you're not up for that, then I guess you are not fit to create a dimension. So then let's get right into it. The first thing we are going to do, as always, is create our new package. And this package shall be called com.sapphire. Oops. Sapphire dot dimension. Okay, cool. And then inside of that, we are going to have our dimension registry. Okay. So here we are in our dimension registry. As always, with our registries, we have a public static void main registry, as always. And in here, we're going to have register dimension. And that's that. Good. And of course, it is not done yet. We need a public static void register dimension. And like that, and there. Got rid of the error. So, above this, we need to give an ID to our dimension. And this is going to be a public static final integer dimension ID, and it's going to equal, let's just put 8, because that's not being used. Inside of this, we are going to first register the provider type, which provides how it's going to load and what biomes are going to load in this dimension. So we are going to have the dimension manager dot register provider type, and this is going to be the dimension ID, and the provider is going to be something that we're going to create called world provider Sapphire dot class, and keep loaded, we're going to put false. This means if you're not in it, we don't want it to be loaded, otherwise that's going to take up some memory, and we really don't want that. The other thing we need to do is do a dimension manager dot spelled it wrong. Dimension manager dot register dimension, and we're gonna have the ID as well as the ID again, and that's because that is the provider, because it's right here. So we're obviously going to need a new class, and that's going to be the world provider. Inside of our provider is going to extend world provider. Okay, and we're going to import that, and then we're going to use the unimplemented methods. But that is not all of the unimplemented methods. So we're going to first, before we get into that, we're going to have a public void register world chunk manager. And what this method is going to do is it is going to give you the type of the chunk manager. So the certain chunk managers are like, well, we could look into it in a second, so hold on. So if we do this dot world chunk manager, and we're going to do a new world chunk manager. Now this can be either overworld or hell, And basically, hell is, I think, another dimension, I believe, so that is what we want. And inside of this, we're going to, why not put our biome as, the biome that is going to spawn. And I don't exactly remember, what is the parameter? What's the float? Oh, the rainfall, right. So doesn't really matter, and that's like the color of the grass. I think we had that in our biome as well. Right there. It's that. We're gonna import that, and then we're going to have this dot dimension ID equals dimension registry dot dimension ID. And that is going to manage our chunks for us, such as what loads in each chunk. Next, we're going to need it to get in a chunk provider, which tells it what to generate in our dimension, such as caves and villages and those kinds of things. Chunk generation, and we're going to leave that blank for today because that is very involved, and we're going to go through the simple stuff today. So I will get into that if we have time. Otherwise, that is going to stay like that, and we're just going to return null for now, just so that it doesn't give us an error. The dimension name, this is just the name of the dimension. It's a string, and we're just going to call it Sapphire. Why not? Okay. So, what's the problem here? I think I spelled it wrong or something. What's the matter? Dimension ID, dimension registry. What do you mean? What do you mean? Oh, I didn't save it. There we go. Okay, so that is our world provider, tells us what biomes, and that is what we're going to do for now. So the next thing we're going to do is we actually need to create a new block. This block is going to be the portal block itself. Like for another portal, the purple thing that is inside of the obsidian. That is the type of thing I'm talking about. Yes, that is an actual block. So we're going to do public static block. We'll call it Sapphire portal. I guess, yeah, we'll do that. Sapphire portal. And that is going to be Sapphire portal equals new Sapphire portal. That's a class, and that is all it's going to have for now. And so then we are going to have to create a new class. Let's just go back here and save, as well as register it into the game. Register block. Sapphire. And we'll just call it Sapphire portal. Okay. And that is that. Now, if we go into our portal block, we're going to have it not extend block, but extend block portal, because it is, after all, a portal. First thing we're going to need to do is, obviously, set up a public Sapphire portal with no parameters, and we're going to super that. And the first thing we will need to do here is we're going to need to do a method that is called update tick, And this is going to have worlds, int x, int y, and int z, and a random. And that's that. We gotta import everything, and the random is that one, I think. So basically what this is going to do is it's going to tick all the blocks so that you can you know, spawn animals and stuff in here. I'm not sure if this is exactly necessary. So we'll leave that to the end. We'll leave that to a little later. So right now we'll just comment that out, and we will come back to it. The first thing otherwise that we're going to need to do is do a public axis aligned 1L aligned BB. Get collision bounding box from pool, and this is going to have world as well as world int x, int y, god damn it, y, and int z, and that is that. And we're going to import axis align b. Obviously we need a return statement. This is going to return null, because we do not want it to have a bounding box, because it is a portal block, obviously. Okay. Next thing is public boolean render as normal block. And this is going to return false, because it is not a normal block. It is, in fact, a portal, not just a regular block. Okay, next thing is we're going to create a method called public void on neighbor block change. So basically, what this method is going to do, let's just add the parameters and a block that we will call block. What this method is going to do, there. What this method is going to do is going to check. So, you know how you have another portal, right? And if you destroy one obsidian anywhere on the portal other than the corners, it will destroy the portal. The portal will be gone. That's basically what this method is going to do. If the block that we are going to use for the border of the portal is destroyed beside it, then it is going to break the portal. And that's what the neighbor block changed, because it's the block next to it. You'll see once we actually get into it. So we're going to have a byte, and it's going to be b0, and it's going to equal 0, and the byte b1 is going to equal 1. And then we're going to have a quick if statement, and it's going to say if in this world, get block, so if the block at the x minus 1, which is 1 to the left, I believe, yes, the block to the left of this portal block, which is why we'll have y, z, and then equals Sapphire blocks dot Sapphire or if it equals that, or, we're gonna have an or. So if the block next to the to the left of the portal is a sapphire or the block to the x plus 1, which is to the right of the portal block, is the same thing, then the byte 0 will equal 0, and the byte 1 will equal 1, which means it'll be true, obviously. So then the neighbor block change, you know, there'll be a portal there. There's going to be a portal if there is a block to either the left or right of the portal block. Next thing we're going to do is create a new integer. This integer is going to be called I1. So we're going to create a for loop here for I1 equaling y. So I1 is now equal to y. If the world.getBlock is the x, then I1 and z, and the I1 is going to be subtracted by 1, and it's equals this, and plus I1, or nope, sorry, minus I1. So for the block being this, if it is, if the block below it, the one portal block, is also this, so for this being that, it's not going to do anything because it will work. Then we're going to write another if statement, and if the world.getBlock, and it's going to actually be the same parentheses as this one right here. If the block below this portal block, is not equal to our or, which is going to be our portal or, is not equal to that, then we want it to set block to error in all of the above, x, y, and z. So if the block below the portal block is not this sapphire or the portal, because we have that 4 up there, so it can be that. But if it's not if it's not that one, then it goes on to this one and says if it is not the or either, then we set the whole portal to error in all x, y, and z's of this portal. The next thing is going to be an else. So if this is not true, then we're going to have an integer of j1, and we're going to have another for loop, and it is going to be for j1 equals 1, j is greater than 4, and the block is get block is x, y, z, and this is not going to be y, this is going to be I1 plus j1, equals this, plus j1. So this is saying that j1, forgot that, j1 is going to equal 1, which is whatever, and if j1 is less than 4, and the block is this one, I1 is y, so y plus 1, basically, the y+1 block, which is the one above it, is this block. So basically like that. It's going to be the same thing there. And then below that, we have another if statement, and it's going to be if j1 equals 3, and the block on the x I1 plus j1, or y+1, and z is equal to our or, which means that the for loop is true because j1 is going to equal 3. So j1 is less than 4. So basically, all of the blocks above it, or at what +3 above it, 1, 2, 3, which would be the top obsidian, if that is our or, then we're going to have a flag. We're actually going to have a Boolean flag, and it's going to be world.getBlock. And this is going to be the x. We're just going to put y and z for now, but we're going to change that right now. The first flag is x minus 1, which means to the left of our block, equals this, which is our portal. So if the top block is that, and we have the block to the left is the portal block, or the block to the right is a portal, and then we are also going to have another Boolean flag. I'm just going to copy this and paste it, and this is going to be the same thing except with the z, which is the backwards one, and then also in front of it. So basically, we're going to have two Boolean flags here. This is supposed to be flag 1. Inside of this if statement, we're going to have another if statement. It's going to say if flag and flag 1, then we're going to world.set block to air in the x, y, and z. So basically what this is saying is if there is a block, if there is a Sapphire block if there's a portal block, or if there's any block, I think it is. If there's a block to the left or right and the back or front, which would be like on all sides of it basically, then we need to set it to air because that is not correct. So that's just how it is. Now we're going to have an else, and it's going to be if, I have two things here, world.getBlock, x plus b0, and y and z plus b1, does not equal an or, our or here, is that one. If it does not equal that, or, so if we go right here, b0 equals 0 and b1 equals 1. So if the portal, if we have our same y and we have a z in the a block in the back, if the block in the back does not equal public ore, I mean sapphire ore, or the block to the, what is this? This is, oh no, sorry, up here, B0, I reversed this, oops, that wouldn't have worked. So basically, if we have the, if we have a block to the, if it's not that, or we have this, and this is z minus b1, does not equal this, and then we're going to have outside of this, and world dot get block x minus b0 y z plus b1, or no, sorry, z minus b1 does not equal the or, and then or, and this is going to be basically the same thing as this right here. I forgot a minus sign, it seems. Come on. This should be a plus, and this over here should be minus. And then I think that, and this one is does not equal this. Then, so basically, if the block to the right does not equal sapphire ore, or the block to the left does not equal the portal, and the block to the left does not equal or the block to the right does not equal the portal, then I'll explain this when we get into the game. I'll show you what this means. Then we're going to set the block to air, as always, in every direction. That. And then if we go 1, 2, 3 outside of here, and we have another else loop, then we're going to world.set block to air again. And this was from the which one was this from? That was from this one. That was from here. So unless it's this, then it's gonna set to air. So let me actually boot up the Minecraft game itself to show you guys how this works. We're actually almost on 30 minutes here, so right after this I will probably end it, and we will go into the next part sometime later. So let's wait for this baby to load up here. Obviously, the portal block is not going to take us anywhere, and that is because, obviously, we did not set up everything. So, I just went into this world. I have all of our armor on, because we were testing that last time. So, obviously, our block is not here, but I will show you how this is going to work. So, let me get out the glass pane to model a portal block. Turn off the stupid music and turn on the sounds. Okay. So basically, we're going to have our portal, right? Like that, and like that. This is going to be our portal, right? So you have all of your portal blocks in here, right? So these these symbolize our portal blocks, right? So if we look over here to our code, right? We are saying right here, if the block to the under the portal, right there, does not equal this OR, so like if we go like that, if it doesn't equal that, then we're going to set the whole thing to air. It's going to get rid of everything. I still hear music, and it's off. So basically, it's going to set it all to air. And then over here, we have the else and the flags, which this is all like the block up there basically has to equal it, and the block, and then the other line says the block to the left, which if it was this one has to be the portal block, or the block to the right, which would be that one in this case. And then we also have, if there's like a portal block back here or something, that's why you can't have both. The second one needs to be false. So like that's why it says if flag and 1 and 2, then set the whole thing to air. So you can't have another. That's so if like two portals spawn on top of each other, you can't have like both portals, otherwise it'll like conflict or whatever. So that's just what that's saying. All this is like, let's see what we got. We've got the x plus 1, so to the right doesn't equal that. So like if it's this one, if it doesn't equal that, and then it's like if this one, or if this does not equal that one, or this doesn't equal that one, then it'll just break the entire portal. So basically, it's a bunch of instances saying that if we delete something like that, it'll destroy the portal. If we destroy something like that, it'll delete the portal. Like if a ghast blows it up, it blows up one of the blocks, so it's like boom, it's gone. Then it'll get rid of the entire thing. And that's basically what that is saying. So that is going to do it for this part of the tutorial. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope this helps you. If it did, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. The next few parts will be coming in the coming days. This is going to take quite a few parts because there is a lot of classes that we actually need to create. But no worries, we'll get to it, and we'll have our portal working in no time. So once again, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace!